what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Footcandle Films. Film news and reviews from two guys who really like movies.
This episode is brought to you by the Footcandle Film Society. For a schedule of upcoming screenings and membership information, visit the Society's website at www.footcandle.org.
Welcome to Footcandle Spotlight. This is your quick hit review that we try to do throughout the month whenever we've got a film that one of us has seen. We want to go ahead and get it out there and get a review going so you don't have to wait till the whole big show that we do once a month to hear our thoughts on these films. So today we're going to be reviewing the film This Is 40, a film I've been able to see. Chris is going to quiz me a little bit about it. Before we get into that, though, just remember we're on themesh.tv. Themesh.tv is where you can see us on the web or on iTunes. Please check us out and feel free to go view other episodes we've put out recently. And by all means, if you like what you're hearing, hit that subscribe button. That will ensure that every time we put out a new episode or spotlight, you're going to get it downloaded right to your iTunes account automatically. So with that, let's move right into our spotlight. The film is This Is 40.
Why does it say 38 and not 40?
Because your mom wants to be 38. Let's not mention it again.
On your form, you said you were born in 1974, but your paper, it said 72.
It's 1974.
Oh, wait. On your last form, you said that you were born in 1975.
I've been working on my rewrite.
I lie about my age, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I know how old you are by counting the rings.
I've made a list. It's the do better list. We're 40 years old. If we don't do it now, when are we going to do it?
Director Judd Apatow has been responsible for several hit movies, one of them being Knocked Up. And This Is 40, just recently released, has come out, and it stars some of the people that were in Knocked Up. Paul Rudd, Leslie Mann. They were characters that were in Knocked Up, but they weren't the central focus, because that was like Seth Rogen. But anyways, this movie, when you look on IMDb, the summary is something as simple as a look at the lives of Pete and Debbie a few years after the events of Knocked Up, period. To me, that doesn't sound that exciting, but it is Judd Apatow, and it has Paul Rudd, which I like. So, Alan, should I give This Is 40 a shot?
Where do I start with this? Let me just tell you, I turned 40 this year.
Okay.
And the previews for this film started coming out. I'm sorry, I turned 40 back 2012.
Got you.
But that's technically when the film came out. I saw it right at the last couple of days of 2012.
Sure.
So when the previews started coming out for this early in 2012, I looked at this and I'm like, oh, wow. Just from the preview alone, I can tell this is going to speak to me. Because that preview alone, that 2.5 minute preview, showed me so many things inside that, yes, I was experiencing my life at the age of 40. I'm having a hard time with 40.
Gotcha.
So when this film was released, I was very excited about seeing it. I'm not a Judd Apatow super fan.
Okay.
I liked The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I generally liked Knocked Up. Mm-hmm. I like his role as a producer. Actually, more, he produced Anchorman and several other films. He's a really good producer. Mm-hmm. As a director, hit or miss. I really like the premise of funny people, but I thought the execution was not handled very well. So knowing this film, This Is 40, the hook he had for me is a married couple. One of them hits 40, which is identical to my life. Couple of kids, challenges of work, challenges of family, all these things. I was ready to absorb this.
Okay.
Imagine seeing a sequence of skits, like a Saturday Night Live skit sequence, where you've got a whole bunch of skits. Some of the skits are really, really funny, but they're just skits. They're 4 or 5 minutes long. Then you've got these other skits that are groaners, that are just like, oh, that was painful. You stitch it together at the end of the night, you watch this whole skit comedy show, and you have to make an evaluation. Did the good ones outweigh the bad ones? This Is 40 is basically a stitched together film of skits.
Okay.
Where
40 skits?
No, not quite 40. Felt like it, though. Where you've got a lot of things happening. You've got two characters, and basically, if I could sum up the movie, the way you described it in the IMDb summary, yeah, that was pretty spot on. It was just a look at their lives.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. It's, okay, here's a scene of them arguing about this. Now, here's going to be a scene where they're going to have this kind of conflict. Now, here's going to be a scene where they're happy and things are going great. And then here's another scene where things aren't going so good. I can tell what Judd Apatow's trying to do. He wants to give us this insight into the lives of 40-year-olds in today's society.
Okay.
And I admire what he's trying to do with it. Some of the situations that were experienced in the film, I completely relate to.
Gotcha.
My problem is that in the end, the film didn't tell me anything.
Okay.
It was just a bunch of empty air at the end of an hour and a half or 2 hours. Actually, it was a pretty long movie. It's 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Okay.
I was really let down.
Okay.
There were some scenes that worked. There were some scenes that were hysterical. But in the end, it was almost like, let's follow this roller coaster ride. This couple, Pete and Debbie, one scene they're happy, one scene they're at each other's throat. The other scene they're happy, and the next scene they're at each other's throat. And at the end of the film, okay, are they happy or not? Are they still together or not? That's kind of where we're left with.
Gotcha.
And for two characters who through most of the film are either not telling each other the truth, not connecting, having some issues, to be so tidy up at the end with no real resolution of why they got to that point. There again, not trying to spoil it for anybody, but
sure,
to understand why they got to this end point when nothing leading up to this film would show you that they should be there. I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. It was a chance to throw in a lot of interesting cameos, to throw in a lot of interesting little moments. It was almost like if you sat down every time you had a good idea of something you wanted to put in a film like This Is 40 and you wrote it on a napkin, you had a stack of napkins at the end of the week. Say, you know what? I'm going to somehow stitch these napkins together and make a film. That's what I felt like happened at the end of this thing.
Wow.
It was long. It was bloated. It didn't really give you anything at the end. You didn't walk away with any sense of what these characters are really feeling or going through in my mind.
Okay.
But there again, there were some moments that were funny. Would I recommend it to anybody to watch? Okay, if you're in a similar situation to me, you're at your 40s, you hit your 40s, you need some external perspective on your age. Sure, go rent it on Netflix or watch it on Netflix. Rent it at Redbox. It's worth a couple bucks to see. But outside of that, I really just can't recommend this film, and it really pains me to say that. I really like Paul Rudd as an actor. He's funny, but yet he's basically just being Paul Rudd in this film. I mean, there's no real acting involved. It's basically, here, Paul, I want you to do this scene, and you have to say these lines. Okay, I'll do it. And he's Paul Rudd in a scene.
I see.
Leslie Mann, she was actually more the star of the film. That's Judd Apatow's wife.
Oh, okay.
The two daughters are Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann's daughters in the film. So it's very much a very personal family thing.
Interesting.
But there again, the sum of it was not anything great. So it was hard for me to review that because I really had good hopes for the film. I really wanted it to work, and I liked where they were trying to do. It's just it didn't add up to anything at the end.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I remember you being really excited about it, and I thought about seeing it over the holidays, and I saw at one point that Rotten Tomatoes had ranked Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 at 48% and had ranked This Is 40 at 49%.
Yeah.
So I kind of stayed away from it, and after hearing your review of it, I think I made a good choice.
It was definitely, of all the films he's made, I think it was his least successful directed film.
Gotcha.
For sure. Again, it's one of those films that you could turn on in the background when you've got it on TV and be doing other things and just enjoy moments of it. Mm-hmm. But don't go into it looking for it to be a 2 hour, 15-minute experience that somehow you come out with any kind of emotion or feeling. It's just a series of these quick hit scenes that maybe in theory seem like they should go together, but they just didn't work in the end. That's the best way I can describe it there. I will say Albert Brooks is in it.
Okay.
Not much there. I mean, he was fine, I guess. Robert Smigel, who, I like as a writer,
right,
does a lot with Saturday Night Live, does a lot with other comedy. He actually acted in a small part, which I think is pretty uncommon for him.
Okay.
He was fine. Megan Fox, I will say, this was a surprise.
That's Transformer Girl,
Megan,
right?
Yeah, Transformer Girl. She was really good in this.
Okay.
She had a small part, but she was really good. And I've never seen her be a good actress before. So that was impressive to see. Yeah, it was. I will say the one thing I did admire about the film, and I told my wife on the way out, I'm pretty sure Judd Apatow stole my iPod for the soundtrack.
No.
Because about every song, I'm like, oh yeah, I play that one about once a week. Oh yeah, I've got that song too.
Okay.
So I did like the soundtrack.
Okay.
I did like the use of music, but boy, beyond that, it was a real big letdown.
Okay.
Real big. So,
good to know.
Yeah, so This Is 40. I wish I could recommend it more heartily, but it's worth a couple bucks to check out, especially if you're in a similar age situation to me and you think some of these situations may apply to you.
Somebody's holding a gun to your head and says parental guidance or This Is 40. you would lead them towards.
Well, I have not seen Parental Guidance, but I can only imagine I'd still go see.
19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'd still go see This Is 40.
Okay.
I guess you put it in good perspective compared to some of the direct that's out there in the movie theaters these days. Yeah, This Is 40 is probably not your worst option.
Gotcha.
But it was a big disappointment for me, for someone who really had hoped this might be a really great emotional film and really kind of hit the right notes and make me feel differently about my situation, and it did none of that. So,
Got you.
all right. That's our Footcandle Spotlight for now. This is 40. That's all I can say.
That's Alan's review. We could have done this in one word.
Yeah, I
one
probably
sound.
could have shortened it out just to Anyway, Footcandle Spotlight, if you got feedback for me, if you think I'm completely off my rocker or want to tell me off on this, drop us a line. Let us know through the website, themesh.tv. Fill out the contact form. Get a hold of us. We'd love to hear from you on that. Stay tuned for future Footcandle Spotlights and, of course, our monthly Footcandle film show. Again, go to themesh.tv to check out our other episodes and other shows and see what we have to offer. Thanks so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. And, Chris, see you next time at the movies.
All right. Headed to see Zero Dark 30.
Oh, are you? Good.
Yep.
All right. Let us know how that is.
Okay.
Take care. Bye.
Watch news through the courtesy of Footcandle Film Society.
Special thanks to Carpal Tuller for the show theme music. For more about Carpal Tuller, visit www.carpaltuller.com. You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.